my kind and inquisitive Virgo friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Virgo, sometimes you feel the subtle ache of responsibility even in your quietest moments. It's that hush beneath your steady routine, a whisper that asks if you've done enough or held enough for others. Even when the week opens with gentle order and familiar rhythms, there's an undercurrent, a longing for warmth, a craving for a feeling of true belonging that isn't just built on what you do for others. You might notice yourself carrying the weight of small details, hoping if you hold every thread together, nothing will unravel. Underneath, you yearn for relief, a sense of being held, not just holding things together. There's gratitude for stability, but also a wish that someone or something would recognize your quiet devotion without you needing to prove it. The tension isn't loud. It's the silent, steady pressure of wanting to feel safe and seen all at once. This week, your emotional center is shaped by the quiet confidence and care woven through the Queen of Pentacles. You might find yourself moving through the days with practical grace, tending to others' needs, making sure small comforts are in place for those you love. There's a satisfaction in providing, an inner calm that comes from creating a warm, steady environment, at home, at work, or within your own thoughts. You're the one people rely on when life feels unmoored. Yet, beneath this gentle competence there's a longing. You wish your own vulnerability could have a safe place to land. The urge to nurture is genuine, but it sometimes masks an unspoken desire to be nurtured as well. In quiet pauses, you may catch yourself scanning your surroundings for signs of appreciation. It isn't pride, but a deep wish for reciprocity, a hope that your steady efforts are truly seen and valued. You might notice you're holding your breath, waiting for a small gesture of gratitude or an unspoken acknowledgement. This isn't about validation in a loud or showy way. It's about wanting to feel rooted in relationships that flow both ways, where care is exchanged, not just given. You could feel a subtle tension between managing practical realities and tending to your own needs. The routines that once brought comfort now feel a bit constraining, even as you keep them going for everyone else's sake. There's a quiet ache beneath the surface, a longing to let down your guard, to trust that if you step back, the world won't fall apart. In the heart of your week lies the gentle, persistent question: can you allow yourself the same softness you offer to others? The answer isn't immediate, but the longing is honest. And it's where your journey begins. The steadiness you bring to your life, your careful attention, your gentle nurturing, naturally creates the foundation for what comes next. Because you make space for comfort and stability, you also set the stage for moments of joy and celebration to find you. Yet the very same routines that ground you may begin to feel restrictive if the deeper need for connection and acknowledgement isn't met. From this inner place, a new path starts to emerge, a path that invites you to step into spaces where you are not only the caretaker, but also a welcomed guest. As your week unfolds, the Four of Wands enters as the active energy shaping your path. The boundaries of your familiar world are expanding. Invitations may arise, literal or subtle, to step outside of routines and into shared experiences, moments that promise togetherness or celebration. You might feel a gentle pull toward gathering with others, reaching for camaraderie or simply finding spaces where you can relax and be yourself. But this isn't without friction. The habits that keep you anchored, attending to details, taking care of what needs to be done, may clash with the invitation to let go and enjoy. There's a push and pull between your desire for order and your longing to be part of something spontaneous and joyful. The pressure arises not from chaos, but from the subtle fear that if you release your grip, you'll lose the very stability you've worked so hard to maintain. You may notice moments this week where you hesitate before saying yes to plans, or where you feel torn between preparing everything perfectly and simply joining the flow. The urge to create an environment for others can overshadow your own enjoyment, leading to a quiet frustration that's hard to name. Yet there's momentum building, a sense that celebration, connection, and ease are close at hand if you can allow yourself to experience them. The friction is real, but so is the possibility for a gentle breakthrough, the realization that you don't have to orchestrate every detail to be part of the joy. The dance between comfort and celebration, between care and connection, is at the heart of your path this week. The more you recognize the tension, the more you see the choice, whether to hold back or to step in fully as yourself, both giver and participant. The possibility for ease and belonging is real, but it asks for your conscious presence. When you notice yourself slipping into old patterns, putting others first, hesitating to accept support, you're at a crossroads. The potential for deeper fulfillment only unfolds if you allow yourself to engage, not just organize. Potential is never passive. It responds to your willingness to meet the moment with awareness, to notice the patterns that keep you comfortable but also contained. This week, as the energies shift, you stand on the edge of something quietly exhilarating. The door to growth isn't flung open by accident. It's turned gently by your own hand when you choose to participate fully. In the energy of the Knight of Wands, your potential this week takes on a fresh, invigorating quality. There's a hidden wellspring of courage stirring within you, a readiness to act on your desires, to pursue something that lights you up, even if it feels a little daring. The roles you usually inhabit, steady, supportive, reliable, make room for a more dynamic self to emerge. This isn't about abandoning your groundedness, but about letting a new kind of enthusiasm move through your days. You might feel drawn to try something new, to say yes to an invitation you'd usually decline, or to let your curiosity guide your choices for a change. The sense of adventure isn't reckless, but it is alive. It asks for a willingness to be seen, to risk a little vulnerability in the pursuit of genuine connection or excitement. There's an invitation here, to let yourself step into the spotlight, even briefly, and to trust that your presence is enough. Growth, in this sense, isn't about proving anything. It's about discovering what happens when you allow your natural passion and curiosity some room to breathe. The more you lean into experiences that awaken your spirit, the more you find yourself energized rather than depleted. Your capacity for care and stewardship doesn't disappear. It finds new expression in the joy of shared moments and bold, small moves. This week, your potential is to remember that life isn't only about holding steady. Sometimes, it's about letting your own fire lead the way. Looking back across your week, the threads of comfort, celebration, and boldness weave together into something quietly transformative. The gentle care of the Queen of Pentacles reminds you of your power to create spaces of safety and warmth, not just for others, but for yourself. As the energy shifts into the Four of Wands, you're invited out of your own routines and into connections that promise renewal, a chance to be part of something larger, to celebrate both what you've built and who you are within it. And with the Knight of Wands, a new chapter beckons, one where you're invited to act on your own longings, to let yourself be seen, and to let your curiosity guide you into new territory. You are not defined solely by what you provide to others. Your tenderness and reliability are strengths, but they are not your only story. This week, as you move through familiar spaces and unfamiliar invitations, you have the quiet power to nurture yourself, to join in with others, and to let your own desires matter. The tension you feel is real, but it's also a sign that growth is close at hand. There's no need to hurry or to force anything. Each small step, each gentle risk is enough. By week's end, you may find that the comfort you crave and the excitement you seek are not opposites, but companions on the same path. You are held, even as you learn to hold yourself with new kindness. Actionable insights for Virgo this week. Try letting someone else handle a small detail you usually manage. Notice how it feels to say yes to a spontaneous invitation, even if it's just for a few minutes. Allow yourself a moment of celebration, no reason needed just because you're here. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am enough even when I pause. My care is received and I am valued. There is space for my own joy to grow. I trust my next step wherever it leads. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.